Hello everyone, my name is Roya and today I will be telling you all about the books that I read in the latter half of December. So a couple of these I actually finished in the first few days of January instead, but you know what, who cares? First, I read the entire Mann trilogy by Robin Hobb, consisting of Fool's Errand, Golden Fool, and Fool's Fate. And I actually read the first two. I finished the first two while I was on vacation, so I left those at my dad's house, and then I read this one on the plane on the way home. So I am holding this one up. Yay! So this is almost as good as the Live Ship Traders trilogy was. I think it is as good in just a different way. It's a lot more like Assassin's Apprentice, only a lot more action-packed, kind of, and it ties both of the previous two trilogies together. And I really enjoyed a lot of the character development that happens in this one, as well as the amount of world building that we see in this book, because basically the first two trilogies each tell a totally different, they each focus on a completely separate corner of the kingdom, and then this one not only ties them both together, but we actually see more of the world as a big picture, and I absolutely loved that. Robin Hobb is just so masterful at world building. And another thing that was really great about this book is that we actually see a matriarchal society in this book, in one of the kingdoms that we did not touch on in the previous trilogies at all. Then the other four books that I read in the latter half of December were all for Sapphic-a-thon. They were all female-female relationships, and they were all novellas. And because they were all novellas, I had the same issue with all three of them, and that is just that they were too short for me to really get invested into the relationship, because they kind of go from not being in a relationship to suddenly being all in love, and so we don't really get to see a progression of the relationship. So basically the first one that I read was Carolyn for Christmas by Lucy Carey, and this is about two singers in Ireland who are rivals, and they used to be best friends when they were little, but they ended up not liking each other anymore because something happened, but we don't know what it is until later in the book. And I really thought this was a great story. It was very cute and everything, but it was just too short to get invested in the relationship, because after they talk out their differences, they're just suddenly in a relationship. There's not even like a kind of progression of getting to that point where you're in a relationship or anything like that at all. So I thought that was kind of weird and very rushed, but it was a very good story overall, and I definitely recommend it. The other three books that I read were the three novellas in the Violet Hills series by Chelsea M. Cameron. And these each focus on a different female-female relationship, and I actually thought that the second one was my favorite by far, because first of all, it takes place between a pansexual girl who is actually referred to as pansexual several times throughout the series, and a trans woman, and that was just a really great relationship. It added a whole new level to just everything about it. And then also it was the only one that really seemed to have real conflict, in the form of, I don't know if we can be together because you don't live here, and blah de blah. The other two were really just about the like, yay, we're falling in love. There was no conflict about it whatsoever, really. And the third one, I didn't really think quite worked for me, because it focused on two girls who actually had dated before. And because we don't get a whole lot of background on when they dated before, just because the book is so short. So that one didn't quite work for me, but I did think that this whole trilogy was super cute. It did have some great relationships in it, and I loved how diverse it was. Not just the fact that it's about women falling in love, but because the women falling in love with other women actually all had different sexual orientations and gender identities, and that was really awesome to see. So anyway, those are the books that I read in the latter half of December. So if you've read any of those and have thoughts on them, please let me know, and also let me know what your favorite book was that you read in December, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!